Well, keep in mind, I'm a control contractor. I would have never gotten involved in this had I not had the experience of a control contractor to look at this and say, here's an opportunity that nobody's doing now, and look what it can do to our customers as far as energy savings goes. We need to rethink how we design buildings and how we control our buildings, because we aren't doing a complete control opportunity if we only control the HVAC half of the building. But if I don't control the sunlight, then I don't truly have decent control, because I can at some point get too much sunlight in a building. Well, again, you know, people get put in a box and they don't want to get out. They don't like change. They're not aware of it. Nobody's brought them up to speed on these new technologies. And who knows better how to service controls than a control contractor? Because we're dealing with, basically, when the system's all up and running, nothing but a control system. There's nothing different from turning lights on and off as there is turning a motor on and off. A relay is a relay. What I've shown here is a typical building load profile, and this is based on the electrical energy typical buildings use. 45% of that building is in the HVAC, 40% of it is lighting. The other 15% is the uncontrollable loads that are plugged into the outlets. Presently, this piece of the pie is controlled by the mechanical division. It's engineered by mechanical engineers. It's installed by a mechanically related contractor, controls contractor, and it's maintained by the mechanical division technicians. And it's been that way for 40 to 50 years. We have done nothing with this 40% piece of the pie because it's engineered by an electrical engineer. It's installed by an electrical contractor. And if it's maintained, it's generally maintained by the facilities people. And with our new DDC controls, it's quite common to be able to save 30% of that energy budget. Take a $1 million energy budget, 45% of that being HVAC, and a savings of 30% equals $135,000 that customer can save on a yearly basis. The opportunity that we have right now today is over here. If I take that same budget, I can save anywhere from 40 to 80% of a piece of the pie that's never been touched. So that's going to be somewhere around $160,000 to $320,000 a year. Now, what do you suppose the building owner is going to think about that? He jumps all over this every day. If he sees this piece of the pie not being touched and the opportunity to save that kind of money, what do you suppose he's going to do? He's going to want to get involved in this. That's a massive opportunity.
Carl's been a customer of Elps Controls for years, but it wasn't until last year that I learned he owned another company called TLC Integration, Turnkey Lighting Control Integration. Carl invited me to see the Carson School District and the Reno School District, where TLC has installed sophisticated lighting controls with daylight harvesting integrated into the building automation system to provide measured and verified savings as high as 80% of the lighting load. I was blown away. Not only were the school districts saving incredible energy, but because of the daylight harvesting features of the system, the quality of the light is incredible.
Projects using measurement verification can qualify for energy credits, carbon credits, and rebates provided by local utilities.
Over the last couple of years, I've been asked by several customers if I had any ideas about how they could expand their business. I now think lighting control is the obvious choice. There's no other contractor on the site who can bring to the table what the control contractor can.
Will the building control contractors be able to learn lighting control?
Absolutely. Again, They're already 90% of the way there. The learning curve to learn lighting controls is going to be a small learning curve. Easy to learn because the hardest part was learning DDC controls to begin with. And as a building automation system, we should be controlling both halves of the pie. We know that simply turning lights off with a light switch on the wall, we could save 20% of our energy. That's if you turn the lights off. Automatic controls, which basically amount to maybe occupancy sensors, can save up to 40%. And with our control system in place and bringing in the sunlight, we can get that savings upwards to 80%.
When you told me high 80s on the phone before I went there, I was extremely skeptical that you were really being truthful on that. Until I went there and actually saw that most of the lights were off in the entire building. There was no lighting on the day that we went.
Surprisingly, and you speak of cloudy days, we have shown savings in the high 50% when it's snowing outside. So in a stormy day with snow falling, we can still show savings in the 50% range.
Lights coming through the snow, through the skylight.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
pretty incredible.
You can see how bringing sunlight into a room can be overpowering. We have to be able to control that sunlight.
Because for the past 3 years that we've been utilizing triple technology sensors, we have not had one false alarm.
We can only see a small percentage of artificial light where we can see 100% of natural light. To achieve complete or the total package or the maximum amount of savings, integration is a natural path because
Measurement and verification. This is the component that helped you get the concept patented.
That's correct. That turns out to be the single most important component of our control system. Well, when you talk to the people that's paying the rebate check, they're using national standards. We are so far above national standards in our energy savings that it blows most people away. So when we tell somebody we're saving 80% of our energy or above, there's just no way you're doing that.
Yeah.
We provide them our measurement verification, which is utility standard measurement. There's no argument. And we have it in 15-minute formats, stored in days and years, and we can give them any information they need for any period of time.
Carl's agreed to provide consulting for Elps Controls and our customers. He can provide everything from sales to engineering to implementation advice.